How you feeling?
Good. I feel good. I think I'm ahead of schedule just because I could talk. Last time I couldn't even talk for about 2 weeks, so I feel good in that sense. My rehab's going good. I think I'm ahead of schedule in a lot of things. I still can't talk the way I want to talk, but I can talk. And so again, when you weigh that against what could have happened, I'm way ahead of the game. So. But it's going to take a while to kind of get my energy back and, get back into the routine of doing baseball things. But all in all, I'm feeling pretty good.
I wonder, what was the feeling like when you finally were able to return here to the ballpark after being away for so long? What was that moment like?
It was, in a lot of ways, it was like therapy. It was like doing rehab. It was good to finally get out of the house, turn my computer off, and actually get out here and watch what's going on and figure out what's going on. And during the course of a baseball game, sometimes you just got to see things, see how guys react, see how the ball bounces to kind of figure out what's the right thing to do. And in the beginning, I was just way too amped. I had to kind of slow down and calm down a little bit because I'm barking at every little thing. So, but just being back out here again makes a world of difference, I think.
You talk about the difference between being here and having to be at home, and obviously you had a lot of time to sort of think about things, about the team. Is there anything to gain from that perspective of maybe being an arm's length?
It does give you a different perspective, but I think in order to kind of make the right decisions, you got to be here every day. I was here every day during the fall, every day right up until the day I had surgery, and the first game that they played, I'm sitting at home watching it on TV, and I'm just going bonkers. Not knowing. I don't know, what exactly was going on. I'm sitting at home a lot of times thinking, I know this game's tougher than it looks on TV, but if you're not here, you don't get that sense. If you're not in the clubhouse and seeing how these guys deal with the day-to-day, you don't really get that sense. But so the first 5 weeks, it was hard, man. It was really hard sitting at home. I'm driving my family crazy. They're like, you got to get out of here, but then driving down here for that first game that I actually saw, I didn't coach it, but I was sitting in the box. And it was even worse than being here at the ballpark and not having control. I just said, Uncle, I'm going. I came downstairs. I told the guys, hey, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna go back home. But the first game I actually got a chance to manage again, it just felt, I was a lot calmer. I was more anxious not being here than I was when I actually got here. And so now I think it's actually really been therapeutic in that, okay, now I can kind of relax. I know what's going on. I know who's doing this and who's doing that. And I still have to turn the amp meter down a little bit. But again, it's just great to be back here.
Well, what has the impact been for the players, do you think?
I think it's been a mixed bag, a combination of, God, we're glad to have Coach back, but God, I hope Coach doesn't get on me, So, and especially with our freshmen, I think they kind of have, it's kind of like where we were at the start of the semester, at the start of the school year, where they got you on a pedestal. Oh, Tony Gwynn's my coach. You don't want him to be the one that, point you out or, mention something that you did wrong. But I had to remind him, hey, I'm your coach. My job is to try to get the best out of you. And sometimes, I got to point out what you don't do right so that you can get better. And so now, after about 2 weekends, I think they're starting to get that sense now, and hopefully, it's coming at the right time because now you're into the conference, and those games weigh heavily on what's going on, and I think they're starting to realize that too because, granted we didn't play the greatest games this weekend, but I think we did a lot of things right, and I think that's where I really want them to focus in on doing things the right way.
You talk about focus, you say don't worry about me, but the fact of the matter is people do worry about you, and there has been quite an outpouring.
I know.
Are you comfortable with that?
Not at all. Not at all. And I woke up from surgery. I had surgery on a Tuesday. I didn't wake up till 4:30 Wednesday morning. And it was funny because I woke up and I said to myself, God, I made it. And I heard myself say that, and it was clear. Like, oh, I could talk this time. So I felt all along like things were going to be okay, but later on that morning, you can tell how when the nurses come in and the clamoring outside your room. I could tell that there were a lot of people who were worried about me. We thought it was going to take anywhere from 5 hours to 8 hours, and it ended up taking 14 hours. So I can imagine that a lot of people were praying for me and pulling for me, but I had again I had no idea that it was going to take on the kind of life it took on. Because when I checked out, there's people were pretending like they're just in the hospital, but they got their little notebooks and and you got on their phone and texting and you get a sense. And but again, I'm just trying to get healthy. I'm not worried about how that cycle works. I just wanted to do the right thing and try to get healthy so I can get back to doing the things I love to do.
I wonder from a personal sense. Cancer is a scary thing. It's
Absolutely.
A scary word to hear.
Yeah.
How has that affected your perspective in your personal life?
Well, I think that the fact that I had gone through this before, I was better prepared this time. Last time I heard cancer, and you just automatically think of the worst. And I had surgery, I did all the rehab, I came back, and things were pretty normal. And then you hear cancer again, and I was, at first it hit me pretty good, but then I thought about how I got through it the last time, which was being positive, not really dwelling on the negative aspect of it. There definitely are some things you got to do, things you got to change, but this time I was totally into whatever I got to do, I'm willing to do. And luckily I had 3 weeks to kind of prepare for it. I told the people here, told my team, told my coaches. I tried to keep it hush-hush for a little bit because I knew what was going to happen once word got out. But, the perspective is I like living. That's the bottom line. I like living. I think I have a lot to live for. There's still a lot of things I'd like to do. I've got 3 grandkids, 2 kids, and, I love being around them and love being a part of what they're doing. And I wanted to continue to do that. So, you don't have many options. You just have to go into it with a positive attitude.
Do you think your experience as an athlete helped at all through this?
Yeah, I think that really helps because as an athlete, you're not going to be successful unless you believe in the things that you're doing. And this is kind of the same kind of thing. You got to believe that you put your faith in the doctors that everything that they're doing is the right thing, and they said this is what's going to happen. And my biggest issue with this one was the nerve on the right side of my face. If they had to take it out, then they were going to have to take a nerve from my shoulder and attach it and do all of that, and it was going to take a while for it to kind of catch and do what it needs to do. But I basically told the doctor, hey, if I wake up, I'm good. If I wake up, I'll deal with whatever I have to deal with. But no question, I think being a baseball player or just being an athlete in general kind of helps to prepare you for going through something like this, because it's not easy, and it's 14 hours, man. It was I just remember when they gave me the shot before they wheeled me in there, I was thinking when I wake up, this is going to be good. I can kind of start the road back to getting things back to normal, and I still feel the same way.
Also, you're awake now. You're here, back coaching the Aztecs. I wonder, when you look to the future, what do you see for this Aztec baseball program?
God, I hope we're a World Series championship. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
My thought process hasn't changed in that respect. That's what I want to do. We're going to be going to a new conference here in 2 years, and we play a lot of those teams anyway, and I know how tough it is. But if you want to get there, obviously it's going to take a lot of hard work in order to get there. So that means recruiting, fundraising, and all the things that a coach has to do to help his team get there, plus the actual coaching part of it. And I'm still as fired up about it as I was when I took the job. So to me, that's a good thing. And getting back here just kind of reminds you how hard it is, because it's not easy. But there's no question this is what I love doing.